I want to start the program off today talking about an article I read last week from CNN, The Cure for Your Junk Cravings, Sleep. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 1 in 3 adults does not get enough sleep, and 1 in 3 Americans is obese. And in the words of the study's author, Aaron Hanlon, sleep-deprived patients are, quote, more prone to snacking and binging, unquote, particularly on cookies, candies, and chips and other highly processed foods. Another article, this one from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, cites a growing body of research as proving that the relationship between sleep and obesity has been well established. That's according to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. In the world of health and medicine, sleep has been recognized as important for healing and for therapy for millennia. The ancient Greeks were great believers in the healing powers of a good night's rest. Their god of sleep, Hypnos, was associated with the relief of pain and suffering. The ancient Egyptians used to use sleep temples, which functioned in the same way as our hospitals today. Today we know that healing hormones, growth hormones, are secreted while we're sleeping, helping keep us youthful and healthy. And according to CNN anyway, a good night's rest can help keep us skinny and laying off the chips and the Cheetos and the chocolate. If you are, like most of us, addicted to junk food, please understand it's not all your fault. Much of our addictions are the result of manipulation. We are subjected to all kinds of PR and commercials and spin from food processors and food chemists and marketers and food companies. This chemical manipulation is based on the fact that human beings have specific nutritional needs and specific nutritional drives. They're hardwired in our brain. These drives can be thought of as physiological must-haves that are literally built into our cranium, into our skulls, into our brains. Biological imperatives that have developed, as we developed, over the course of thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. That means food and water and sex are must-haves. It also means that these are areas where we can become very vulnerable if we don't learn how to master or control these drives. Marketers study these drives. You better believe marketers study these drives. Advertisers study these drives, and because we're so easy to exploit at this level, especially if we're unconscious about them. Appetite drives are regulated by various brain chemicals, brain hormones with names like dopamine and endorphins, and these drives are built into our need to survive. We have a drive for sugar, for example. We have a drive for fat. We have a drive for salt. That's why we crave these substances. There's nothing inherently wrong with these drives, but the problem is these drives were built up over thousands of years when there wasn't a lot of sugar around. There wasn't a lot of fat around. There wasn't a lot of salt around. When these substances were hard to find, these hard drives had survival value. These days, there's no problem finding salt and finding sugar and finding fat, but we still have these hard drives, these hardwired drives to go for the sugar and the salt and the fat. And then on top of that, when food is processed in certain ways, when food is layered, flavors are layered in certain ways, they become absolutely irresistible. And over the course of thousands and thousands of years, we've learned to do anything to get these foods, to do whatever it takes to get these foods, which is why we want to understand how this is happening. One thing we can do to make sure that we can resist these drives is to make sure that we're getting enough good fat. Good fats like saturated fats, ghee and butter, for example, or unprocessed, unsaturated fats in the right proportions from seafood and seeds and vegetables. That way we won't be addicted to the foods that are stuck in front of our face via processors and commercial marketers and food manufacturers. So our brain is hardwired to seek fats, but we can hack into that by choosing the kind of fats that we eat, essential fatty acid rich fats. And by the way, that also means making sure that we're getting supplemental fats, your ultimate EFAs, for example. Making sure that you're getting your omega-3s and your omega-6s can have a very important effect on short-circuiting these drives for fats. Taking your omega-3s and your omega-6s can have an important appetite suppressant effect. They can affect food cravings in general. Same with micronutrients like the vitamins, particularly the B vitamins, electrolytes as well. And this is where my favorite longevity product, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, can be so helpful for controlling cravings and for helping us lose weight. If you're going to a party or a social event and you know you might be tempted, make sure you bring along some BTT powder. Make sure you bring along a water bottle filled with some BTT and sip on it while you're at your social event. Sip on some BTT water while you're eating. You'll find that you're eating less food, and you'll find that you're satisfied much more quickly. In my opinion, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is a dieter's best nutritional friend. And even though it's not advertised as such, it can be a very effective weight loss tool. This is because in addition to the habitual way that we eat, one of the reasons that we stay constantly hungry is because our body is looking for nutrition. This is why people lose pounds on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. This is why people lose tens of pounds, even 100 pounds, when they start a good nutritional supplement program. When you get on the Healthy Start Pack, when you get on the Ultimate Essential Fatty Acids, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the OsteoFX, making sure you're getting your Mighty 90 essential nutrients, the body gets the nutrition it wants without having us indulge in so many calories. These are the simple little things we could do, folks, to stay healthy. These are the simple little things we could do to lose weight if we so desire. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program.
You may have heard about the 90 essential nutrients or the Mighty 90 needed for good health. But with all the products out there, what exactly are they talking about? The Mighty 90 is 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 60 plant-derived minerals, and 2 essential fatty acids. So now you know. But with all the products you see and hear advertised, what exactly do you buy to come up with the Mighty 90 and the right ratios to promote good health? Longevity has made it easy with the Healthy Start Pack, which contains 1 canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine vitamin and plant-derived mineral complex, 1 bottle of bone and joint enriching OsteoFX Plus, and 1 bottle of EFA Plus essential fatty acids, all in the proper ratios to promote good health and vitality. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Longevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound. Turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
What's up, Douglas?
Well, glad to have you back on the show again. I've got a story here, headline, Can an Anti-Inflammatory Diet Help Ease RA? And this is from Ashley Koff. She's a registered dietitian. Says adopting an anti-inflammatory diet may help ease rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. It explains that foods can promote a healthy inflammatory response in the body. Says an anti-inflammatory diet means that certain foods will actually help you promote a healthy inflammatory response. What that means is foods like certain fats and proteins, as well as spices. She goes on to say turmeric and ginger, healthy fats that you get from nuts and seeds, and wild salmon. All of these foods contain essential fatty acids, especially omega-3s, which help reduce inflammation. She goes on to say you want to avoid processed foods, especially ones that have high amounts of added sugar in them, or processed fats or artificial flavors and colors. So there you go. I thought immediately of you when I saw this article, because you often talk about the body's inflammatory response, and that's generally, coming in from the diet, and that's linked to all disease.
That's good news and that's bad news, because it means we can't eat as usual, right? We got to control the way we eat. But it also means that if you're dealing with an inflammatory issue, if you're dealing with an immune issue, you're basically, almost by definition, dealing with a food or a digestive issue. And this means that we have control. And to me, I don't have an inflammatory issue necessarily or autoimmune disease. But if you have one and you're dealing with one, it could be so miserable. I see people in my practice. I see people with it all the time. When I do my presentations, I see people with it all the time, and it's like we're suffering unnecessarily, Douglas. It is so unnecessary for somebody to have rheumatoid arthritis. It is so needless for somebody to be dealing with an autoimmune disease, be it Graves' disease or hypothyroid disease, Hashimoto's thyroid disease, whatever it is. Work on your digestive system. Use your Biolumin Nightly Essence. Make sure you're using your Ultimate Enzymes with all of your meals. Practice the elimination diet. Keep track of your foods with a food diary. These are such simple little things that we could do. Get on a nutritional supplement program, especially your Ultimate EFAs, which not only function as appetite suppressants, but are literally the molecules of inflammation and anti-inflammation. The body controls the inflammatory process and the anti-inflammatory process with essential fatty acids. They get instantly turned into special hormones that control inflammation and anti-inflammation. And I can think of no more significant nutritional deficiency for folks who aren't supplementing, that is, than the essential fatty acids, because number one, they're not found in a lot of foods, and number two, even in the foods that they're supposed to be found in, typically they're processed out. So many of us are going through our lives deficient in these incredibly fundamental and important molecules, the essential fatty acids. You can tell, by the way, one of the ways you could tell that you have an essential fatty acid deficiency is if you're dealing with dry skin. I see so many people who have skin issues, particularly dry skin, also inflammatory issues of the skin, psoriasis and eczema and rashes. Under conditions of essential fatty acid deficiency, your skin will be much more likely to be sensitive, it'll be much more likely to break out, and it'll be much more likely to be dry. And the moisturizing creams that we use, by the way, and I'm telling you this as somebody who's been in the skin health business now for 30 plus years, the moisturizing creams that we use, this is so interesting, the moisturizers that we use actually suppress our natural moisture factors. So not only are moisturizing creams not going to do much for your skin in terms of skin dryness, but they're actually going to make your dry skin worse. This is one of the dirty little secrets of the skincare business. If you do have dry skin, if you have eczema, if you have psoriasis, or if you're interested in losing weight and weaning off your junk food cravings, I can think of no better strategy than to get on your Ultimate EFAs and Ultimate EFA Plus capsules, and in addition to, of course, a good nutritional supplement program that provides all of your Mighty 90 essential nutrients like the Healthy Start Pack. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we welcome your phone calls today on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Another article from CNN, Doug, eating at least one serving of seafood a week could help stave off Alzheimer's disease. Why do you suppose that is? What is the secret in that seafood?
Essential fatty acids, omega-3s.
Omega-3 fatty acids, that's right. The same ones you get in your Ultimate EFAs and Ultimate EFA Plus. Seafood also, of course, contains iodine, which a lot of folks know iodine is important for the thyroid, but not a lot of folks realize that iodine is important for mental health, for brain health. It's also an important supplement for women who are dealing with estrogenic issues, endometriosis, or cysts. In fact, iodine is important for all of the glands of the body, including the adrenal glands, which store relatively vast amounts of iodine. I believe there's more iodine in the adrenal glands than there is anywhere else in the body. And you're not going to find iodine in a lot of foods that don't live in the ocean. It's an ocean mineral, so you got to make sure you're eating seafood. Of course, these days, you got to be careful with the seafood that you eat because we've done such a number on the oceans, but you'll get some iodine in your Ocean's Gold product from Longevity, and you'll get iodine, of course, in the Fucoid Z, which next to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, I have to say, the Fucoid Z and maybe even the Z Radical are my favorite Longevity products. The Fucoid Z is a really important blood thinning agent. It also has anti-cancer properties. I often get the question, what's the difference between the Fucoid Z and the Z Radical, or which one is a better product? I personally am more fond of the Fucoid Z simply because it's not as sweet and you get a lot more. You got a lot more of that fucoidin stuff, and fucoidin absolutely rocks when it comes to nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Fucoidin is a sugar that's found in brown algae, and it's got wonderful, wonderful health benefits, not the least of which is its iodine content. So if you're interested in taking care of your brain, if you're dealing with mental health issues, or you don't want to have dementia issues as you get older, you might want to think about getting yourself on the omega-3 fatty acids from the Ultimate EFA Plus, as well as iodine that's found in the Fucoid Z, in addition to eating a little bit of seafood. Alzheimer's disease, by the way, is just another chronic degenerative disease. It's not a special health challenge. It's just the same kind of inflammatory, the same kind of based on the same kind of inflammatory issues that are behind most chronic degenerative diseases. And this is where eating, nutritional supplementation, and digestive strategies are so darn important. You know what they're calling Alzheimer's disease these days? Type 3 diabetes, because of its relationship to blood sugar, problems with blood sugar. And blood sugar elevations in blood sugar are behind a lot of inflammatory conditions. And sugar is treated by the body as the enemy. After a tiny little bit of sugar that you need for your brain, maybe a teaspoon of sugar or so should be floating around in your blood. Your brain needs to have sugar. After that, all the excess is stashed away as fat, and what's not stashed away as fat can cause tremendous destruction to the body. Sugar burns hot. Sugar caramelizes things, and it caramelizes and burns proteins in the body. It caramelizes and burns proteins that are found in the circulatory system. It's behind, elevated blood sugar is behind problems like blindness and amputations and glycated or sugared proteins. It's really, really a serious issue, and just another one of those simple little things that we can do to change our lives to stay healthy, restricting the amount of sugar. If you're one of those people that can't get off of sugar, get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. Make sure you're using your sweeties and your B vitamins. If you fall off the wagon and you eat a bunch of sugar, drinking a lot of water can help dilute your blood sugar. More fiber is another great way to help sweep sugar out of your body. And also the protein glutamine, or the amino acid glutamine, which is found in whey protein, can also have a nice effect for helping wean you off sugar. The brain can actually use glutamine as well as it can use sugar. So if you're one of those sugar junkies, make sure you're using your Slender FX at least once or twice a day, and you'll find it's easier to wean yourself off of the sugar. Thanks so much for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program.
Let's head to California, and Madrew, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey there, Madrew. Is that how you say it? Madrew. I like that. Hi, Madrew.
Yeah. I have a 69-year-old woman. She has a pacemaker. The doctor says she has no electrolytes. The doctor says she has fat in her blood, and she says the doctor says she has calcification in her right breast.
Sounds like a blood problem. Dirty blood. That's what I call it. That's behind everything. Dirty blood. We got to clean that blood out. First of all, hey Doug, where do you think Madrew can get some electrolytes?
You could probably use the Rebound FX.
That's a great one. And the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, vegetable juices. That's probably Dr. Wallach's, among his many insights, that's probably one of his best insights, is electrolyte deficiency and making sure that you deliver electrolytes in a water-soluble form. And that's what turned me on to the longevity products 20 years ago, was the liquid electrolytes. And you hit the nail on the head, Madrew. Electrolytes and the heart go hand in hand. The heart runs on potassium and calcium and magnesium and sodium, these things that we call electrolytes. Make sure she's using, your patient and your client is using her Beyond Tangy Tangerine throughout the day, sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine throughout the day. In addition, you want to make sure she's getting her B vitamins, which are the heart's, well, I don't want to say the most important vitamins, but they certainly are important for the heart. Again, in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, you'll get generous amounts of the B complex, as well as vitamin C. Between vitamin C and the electrolytes and the B complex, you've got the heart's most important vitamins. Of course, your ultimate EFAs are also very significant, very important for the heart. I'd be using 9 capsules a day. Go with the EFA Plus. I like those a little bit better. They're both good, but I like the EFA Plus a little bit better than the EFAs, the ultimate EFAs. 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules in the afternoon, 3 capsules in the evening. Magnesium is also very important for the heart, as well as calcium. You'll get that in the Osteo FX, the Beyond Osteo FX. You might want to throw in some selenium as well. Selenium is also very cardioprotective. Make sure she's using her slow, deep breathing techniques, and because blood and blood sugar go hand in hand, I should say the heart and blood sugar go hand in hand, you may also want to add in some sweeties. Have her take a couple of the sweeties after all her meals. Last but not least, if she can move around a little bit, I love it, one of those mini trampolines or rebounders for moving the lymphatic system and moving the circulatory system. That can help deliver more oxygen to the cells and may reduce some of the load on her heart. Not too much. She doesn't need to do too much exercise, but maybe walking up and down the steps at a brisk pace, or taking a brisk walk, or jumping up and down on a rebounder. Cardiovascular issues are a big problem. Number 1 cause of death in this country. 1 million people or so die from cardiovascular disease, or are affected by cardiovascular disease, and many of them die And it is so, like all health challenges, it is so gratuitous and unnecessary. Get her on a good nutritional supplement program, the Healthy Start Pack, have her moving her body around, the Ultimate Selenium, and the Sweeties as well. You should notice a big difference. Don't forget the deep breathing too, Madrew. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. Hope we helped you out. Who's next on the line? Douglas?
Let's head to San Clemente, California. And Michael, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Michael.
Greetings, Ben. Thank you.
Greetings to you.
I have a 90-year-old woman who is on some medications for diabetes type 2.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I've got her on the Healthy Blood Pack, and she was on it for 10 days, and all of a sudden she got a severe case of diarrhea.
Okay. We'll talk about that. We got to take a break, Michael, so hang on. We got to take a break, but we'll talk about that when we come back from our break. A 90-year-old woman on prescription drugs. Unbelievable. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Michael and your phone calls as well. We're talking to Michael. You there, Michael?
Yeah, Ben, I did want to footnote, we're in the southwest here of the U.S., we are plagued right now with a diarrhea virus also. So that's my question. Is it coincidence, or could the minerals loosen up toxins to the point that she's having a severe diarrhea?
You know, I can't speak to whatever is going on in terms of viruses down there. Where do you live, by the way?
In Southern California.
Okay. I can't speak to what's going on in terms of viruses, but I do know that occasionally people will experience diarrhea or loose stools from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, especially older folks and especially folks who have digestive issues. That usually means that they're not absorbing their minerals. So there's a couple things you could do if that occurs. Number one, have your clients sip on the BTT much more slowly and use a smaller dose. It's more important that they get the BTT throughout the day than they get it in one big dose. That's my personal philosophy. It's like you want to kind of give your body the nutrients in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine slowly so that they can be assimilated, especially if you're dealing with a malabsorption issue, and many people are, especially older folks. So that's one strategy for you. Have her sip on it much more slowly. Secondly, have her take her Beyond Tangy Tangerine with food. That can sometimes help. If you take your nutrients in general with food, all the digestive juices will help you absorb the minerals, and there's lots of nutrients, lots of minerals in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. So having her use it with food can help. And then last, but most certainly not least, using something called soluble fiber, which you'll find in mushy veggies and mushy fruits with your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, or just upping your intake of soluble fiber, which are found in pears and apples and tomatoes and those kinds of fruits and vegetables. That will help slow down the release of, or slow down the absorption of nutrients. And then also you can use bentonite clay. Well, it has a nice slowing down effect on the digestive tract and help the body absorb the nutrients at a much more slow pace, and maybe relieve some of the symptoms of the diarrhea as well. Any other questions there, Michael?
I do have another question. Thank
Sure.
you so much for asking. I've got a gal that I started on the program, and I actually put her on half dosage because I know she has a lot of toxin issues. So I put her on the pollen burst for a couple weeks first with the minerals, and it did real well, and she felt just great, and she thought, the program was great. But I knew I had to move her over to the BTT, so I gave her the BTT and only half a dosage for her weight and her size. But she started getting severe headaches with it. And again, is it loosening up the toxins in her body so much to the point?
No, I would be looking for something else that's causing the headaches. I don't know necessarily make a link between the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and headaches. I'm not sure of a mechanism that would cause that to happen. So it could be something else that she's doing, and then it seems like it's the Beyond Tangy Tangerine that's doing it. There's not a real mechanism for the BTT to cause headaches, save for an allergic reaction, I suppose, but that rarely happens. So I don't know that necessarily I would blame the Beyond Tangy Tangerine for that.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michael. That's a very important point, by the way, Doug. Sometimes we make these links and associations that are not necessarily accurate. And if you are experiencing some kind of effect from a nutritional supplement that you're taking, stop taking the supplement and see what happens, and then start taking it again and see what happens. That's usually the best strategy, because sometimes we don't. That's called in psychology, in science, that's called a confounding variable, where we make assumptions and we make connections that aren't necessarily there or aren't necessarily accurate. So if you are experiencing an effect with your supplement, or really with anything, stop taking it. See what happens, start taking it again, and see if you get your symptoms back. All right, who's next on the line, Douglas?
That might be a good idea for Michael's friend to also do a food diary so they maybe track down if it's
That's
a food
good
that's
point.
causing the
Link it to
migraines.
foods. I always like linking things like that to foods. Absolutely. Headaches are often, and migraine headaches too, are often linked to foods, and we don't often make that connection. Thank you for that, Doug.
All right, let's head to Atlanta, Georgia. And Sandra, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Sandra.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm 54 years old, and I was diagnosed for Parkinson's.
Okay.
I was prescribed a medication called carbidopa,
Yes.
and I was asked to start taking longevity, the healthy bone and joint pack.
Say that
I just
again. I'm
wanted
sorry,
to
ma'am.
know-
You're starting to take it, or you stopped taking it?
No, I'm getting ready to start taking it.
Okay, good.
But I want to know if I should take it along with the medication, or should I stop
Well,
the
I can't
medication? Or...
I can't speak to you taking the medication. That's between you and your doctor. And if you've made an agreement with your doctor that you're going to take his advice and you're going to go to the doctor, you pretty much have to do what the doctor tells you to do. However, I can tell you that Parkinson's disease is like everything else we've been talking about. It's an inflammatory condition of the brain. And if it affected a different part of your brain, you may have Alzheimer's disease, but it happens to be affecting a part of your brain that is involved in movement. And so they call it Parkinson's disease. But the same symptoms, the same signs are there. In Parkinson's disease, you have these little they call them Lewy bodies, these little pieces of protein that are found in the brain. Likewise, in Alzheimer's disease, it's just a degenerative condition of the brain. It's arthritis of the brain. So we want to treat it the way you treat any other inflammatory condition. That means, number one, you want to look for problem foods. And as Doug just mentioned, you want to do a food diary where you write down everything you eat, and you link digestive issues or flare-ups in your Parkinson's symptoms to specific foods. Most people with Parkinson's disease are going to have associated digestive problems. So you want to link those digestive problems to foods by doing a food diary. Don't try to use your memory or remember, but write everything down you eat, write everything that you eat down in a book, and then associate them with digestive issues or flare-ups in your movement disorders, and then start to eliminate those foods. Food diary, elimination diet. And then at the same time, it's not a bad idea, it's probably a good idea, to use nutrients that support digestive health. The Biolumin Nightly Essence, the Fucoid Z, your Ultimate Enzymes are all wonderful for the digestive system. Eating less calories can help you, and then also restricting, or at least trying to restrict, the amount of fast-burning sugars that you eat, using your sweeties after meals, drinking a lot of water after you do, if you have a bready or starchy meal, or potatoes or pasta, or lots of dessert or soda pop or fruit juice or anything that spikes your blood sugar. Don't forget your slow, deep breathing. Very important for brain health, whether we're talking Alzheimer's dementia or whether we're talking Parkinson's disease or whether we're talking cardiovascular issues or any other health issues. Making sure you're doing nice, slow, deep breathing. And, of course, your Healthy Start Pack, which you say you're starting, that's going to make a huge, huge difference. Sip on your Beyond Tangy Tangerine very slowly. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine with the electrolytes and the B vitamins, extremely, extremely helpful for all brain health issues. And nobody has, just like nobody has to suffer with Alzheimer's, nobody has to suffer with diabetes, nobody has to suffer with Parkinson's. I can't speak to your drugs or your medication, but certainly you'll be able to you'll be able to lower your dose and ultimately wean yourself off of those if you start a good nutritional supplement program. Make sure you're doing everything by in conjunction with your doctor, working with your physician, because you do have an agreement to help with your physician if he's helping you out. So you want to make sure that you're advising him with everything you're doing. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it very much. Who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to Santa Monica, California. And Jim, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ben. Yeah, I have a question. Have an acute situation here. I recently had a surgery, a removal of a basal cell carcinoma.
Okay.
And it's a little bit above my ankle, maybe 10 inches above between the knee and the ankle, close to the shin bone. And it was like what they call a Mohs surgery, where they go off in layers, and it's like an open sore that I treat and dress every day. I've been putting Aquaphor on it, and it seemed like it was getting extra red and extra sore and extra swelling on the ankle and the foot. So I went in and had them take a look, and they said, well, it doesn't look too bad, but I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to start an antibiotic. So they recommended an ointment, and then they wrote a prescription for also an oral antibiotic. And in the meanwhile, they made a culture test. And I just got the call yesterday. They said, yes, I have a what do you call it, staph infection.
Okay.
Okay, so I know I don't enjoy taking antibiotics. They upset my stomach and all that. And I called one of the
Hey,
people,
Jim, Jim, we got to take a break. We got the commercial coming up. Can you hang on?
Sure.
Hang on, and we'll get to you when we come. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. We're talking to Jim about some basal cell carcinoma issues. You there, Jim?
Yes.
Okay, so they took it out, and now you got an infection, a staph infection. They're putting you on an antibiotic. Go ahead.
Okay, so I called one of the associates the other day and asked if there was any antibiotic that Dr. Wallach carried, and they mentioned something called Super KB and also beta-glucan.
They're both wonderful, but they're not in the same category as an antibiotic. And if you indeed have a staph infection, you probably don't want to be messing around with that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be messing around with it personally. Now, what you can do, however, is you can use the beta-glucan with your antibiotic, and that will support the antibiotic that you're taking, and also it will mitigate some of the toxicity associated with the antibiotic. As you know, as you pointed out, antibiotics can really wreak havoc on your digestive tract, which ironically is a very important part of your immune system. So it's really super, super important that as soon as you get off your antibiotic, that you start to restore digestive health. Even while you're on the antibiotic, it wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that you're using your Biolumin Nightly Essence. Don't take them together. Don't take the antibiotic with the probiotic, because the antibiotic will kill the good bacteria. So maybe a few hours after you take your antibiotic, take your Biolumin Nightly Essence, and certainly make sure you're taking your Biolumin Nightly Essence after you complete your course. In fact, I would be taking a mega high dose, maybe 60 billion units a day, 4 or 5 capsules a day of the Biolumin Nightly Essence for a while, maybe a week or two after you complete your round of antibiotics.
Well, you wouldn't take it in association with.
Well, in association, but not at the same time. You know, in other words, don't take your antibiotics, and then a minute or two later take your probiotics. Give it a couple hours. If you're on a three time a day, usually you're taking the antibiotics 3 times a day, right? Or is it 4 times a day?
Well, the current one is 2 times a day, but they said they wanted to watch the culture and they might recommend something else.
Oh, what antibiotic are you on, by the way?
Oh, shoot, I don't have it right.
Okay, don't worry about it. So if you're on an antibiotic twice a day, that means that there's going to be a period, maybe 4 or 5 hours after you take your antibiotic, when you'll be able to take your probiotic. So don't take it together, but do take them while you're on the course of antibiotics. You're still going to want to take your Biolumin Nightly Essence. Then you're going to really jack the dose up when you're done, especially if you're experiencing cramping or diarrhea or any kind of digestive distress. Fiber will help you also. Personally, I'd be grinding up some flax seeds and making sure I got enough fiber. The beta-glucan is absolutely awesome. Absolutely 100% positively stay on that Healthy Start Pack. Make sure you're using your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It wouldn't be a bad idea, by the way, to add in a little extra selenium, which can help the immune system. And then also, if you want to, it's not necessarily a bad idea to add in some Fucoid Z, which also has a blood purifying and anti-cancer effect as well. Thank you so much for your call, Jim, and I hope we helped you out. Who's next on the line, Doug?
Let's head to New York. And Isaac, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hi, Isaac.
Hello, Pharmacist Ben. My question is, with a person who has a fistula, how should they naturally get rid of it?
Well, a fistula is a sign that the tissue in the body is starting to break down. Is it in the digestive tract?
Well, it's outside the colon for now.
Yeah, okay. So usually that means there's been some digestive problems going on for a long period of time. Is it you, Isaac, or somebody you know?
It's actually me.
Okay. So you got to know you had a digestive issue going on for a long period of time. I'm guessing you're in 30s or 40s? How old are you, sir?
No, younger than that.
Younger than that. So you must have had some serious digestive problems going on for a long period of time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. It takes a lot of damage for a fistula to occur. So immediately you got to start doing a food diary. And in fact, I would be fasting. I'd be doing a Suero V cleanse immediately. Go get yourself some Suero V. Do half a bottle every hour for maybe 2 or 3 days. That's like a fast, except you're doing the Suero V, so it's not a complete fast, but it's as close to a fast as you can get. And then when you start eating again, you want to make sure, absolutely sure, you're recording in a food diary, in a notebook, everything you eat and how you feel after that specific food. You must have been eating the wrong food for a long period of time and not knowing it. So a food diary is going to reveal a lot of information for you. Once you start to find out specific foods that are causing specific digestive problems, you're going to want to eliminate those foods. Make sure you're using your Biolumin Nightly Essence, generous amounts, 4 or 5 capsules a day, eating as little food as absolutely necessary. Make sure you're eating, liquefying your foods, soups and juices, vegetable juices especially, and of course your Healthy Start Pack. That goes without saying. If you don't mind, Isaac, if you want more help, send me an email, ben@ksco.com.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWorks disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.
When you perspire, working or playing, your body is losing more than just water. That's why it tastes salty. But what you're sweating out is more than just salt and potassium, as some sports drinks will have you believe. One of the most well-known sports drinks only has 2 nutrients, and it's loaded with sugar. Some have a mineral or 2 with a couple of vitamins. Youngevity's exceptional sports drink, Rebound FX, is chock full of cancer-fighting antioxidants, a full spectrum of vitamins, plant-derived minerals, and herbs. Rebound FX is a highly absorbable liquid supplement that gives you quick, sustained energy. Rebound FX supports cardiovascular health, immune health, and boosts stamina and energy. Don't short yourself during and after your workout with just a couple of nutrients. Drink Youngevity's Rebound FX for optimal health. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the pig arthritis formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's OsteoFX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it too. It's really good for you. And it makes not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities. Many believe that all life began in the Earth's oceans. We do know that the oceans and seas are still abundant with life and life-sustaining nutrients. Many cultures have long believed in the life-giving properties of plants and sea life harvested from the oceans. Youngevity's Ocean's Gold is a proprietary blend of seaweeds, algae, mosses, kelp, sea cucumbers, and sea minerals, as well as coenzyme Q10, calcium, and iron, all designed to help support healthy thyroid function, regular heartbeat, normal weight, mood stabilization, and hormone levels. Take advantage of life-sustaining nutrients from the Earth's oceans with Youngevity's Ocean's Gold. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the pig arthritis formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's OsteoFX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, your host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. If you're interested in a colon cleanse, blood cleanse, liver cleanse, in the classical herbal way, you want to ask your Youngevity associate for Herbal Rainforest. Herbal Rainforest has 16 herbs, 16 cleansing herbs, classic cleansing herbs, and 77 plant minerals. That's right, and these are all organic. It doesn't get any better than that. In your busy day, and you're around all these toxins out there, in your workplace, on the way home, going to work, in your food, in the air, in the water, you need Herbal Rainforest. I guarantee you, it will give you a cleanse. You can control the dose. It's a liquid. It tastes good. It doesn't get any better than this. A colon that's happy makes you happy. Nothing better than a happy colon. Herbal Rainforest. Clean it out.
For more information on this product or others you've heard about on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, call your local Youngevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Greetings, everyone. Judy DeVilbus here. What do you think of when you hear the words tangy tangerine? Well, I think of like a sweet, tangy tasting something. Well, what I'm referring to is the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine. It's a fantastic product. It has everything you need, and a great benefit is it's very, very delicious. It's very easy to drink. I've suggested it even to youngsters. Even children like it. Even little guys. Even little girls. They come right into my office. Their parents can't get them to take those chewables, and besides that, they're not as good as tangy tangerine. And I give them a little taste of that, and you know something? They're pleased as punch. So, if it's good for a child and it tastes delicious, why not you? There's no excuse not to take a vitamin when it tastes as good as that does. So how about it? Tangy tangerine should be the answer to all of your nutritional program problems.
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities.